for a few minutes. Michonne to get a bite to eat, so we will be right back.
He's on his way back.
A bite to eat, zombie. We really got to roll.
I mean, he didn't eat when we were dead, so like, he had to make up for it now. So I don't blame him.
Well, I wanted him to introduce himself because this will be the first time we get to hear him speak. So.
I'm Moses J. Mosley. Hi, first of all, how's everybody doing today? Awesome. Well, as you know, I did play Michonne's Pet Zombie. I was a Pet Zombie boyfriend, or just Pet Mike, or whatever you want to call it. And I've been acting and modeling for about 3.5 years now. I've had a couple other roles in a couple of other TV shows. I was in the originals on CW. I was in Vampire Diaries. I was on the season finale of the show Resurrection on ABC. I was on Joyful Noise, the movie Trouble with the Curve, movie 42, movie Hunger Games, Catching Fire, and a couple more. I can't remember off the top of my head, but yeah, I've been doing it for the last couple of years. It's been pretty awesome. Anybody have any questions? Walk it in.
I just want to know who you were on Vampire Diaries.
I was on season 5. I was in the prom scene. I had a conversation back and forth with Damon Salvatore, and I was one of the jocks, jock football players, and I was had a conversation with him for a while. It was pretty awesome.
You got a question?
Yeah. How long did it take you to make Stone on Walking Dead?
It took 2.5 hours, and it was pretty much literally just sitting still and letting them, paint on me and apply prosthetics, and it was like a grueling 2.5 hours though, because it was like you can't even fall asleep. Because every time you move too much, they're like, hey, stop moving, because like they try to keep everything the same for continuity purposes. And it's like you have to really stay focused and try to get everything back to the way it was, just to make sure it looks right for every episode. But it was 2.5 hour process, and it was long, but it was worth it.
I know they recycle some of the actors play other zombies. You ever get recycled to play someone else?
I did it because I was considered a character zombie, so it was like, okay, that's pretty much who you are, because like everybody, they know who you are now, so that's pretty much all you can do. But I got a chance to come back. I had a season on a flashback in season 4, and in season 5 they did a brief flashback, so we got a chance to come back, and I'm hoping I'll get a chance to come back again in season 6.
Yeah. Michonne's character is absolutely amazing. Of course, but when you first met her, she had a very stern look about her. When you were acting with her, was it difficult to maintain that facial look, that what extremely stern look, or did she have moments where she was just like, man, I just can't do this today, and kind of just started laughing?
It was actually funny because like the moment she steps on, it's like she's so into it to the point where you actually believe it, But it was funny, like in between takes, when you saw her actually like pulling us with the chains, she was really pulling us because she was like really into her character. But like as soon as the director said cut, she turned around and looked at us and was like, "Are you guys okay? Like was it too hard? Y'all got everything was all right? Can I do that too hard, or you want me to adjust?" And we're just like, you're fine. Just go ahead and just get into it. But like she's like the one of the sweetest, like nicest, down to earth people you ever want to meet. She's a really awesome person.
Yes.
What was the most fun thing that happened while you were in Walking Dead?
I say the funnest thing was filming the scene where I actually died in, and that was where the helicopter exploded. Because like, everybody was, deeply in the character and everything, and I'm just over here just being blown away by how they're making this helicopter look so authentic with the explosion and everything. And I learned so much that day, and just being able to meet pretty much all the other actors as well, and learn how everything works and functions was like the mind-blowingest thing that ever happened. And I'd say the funniest thing that happened was during the Entertainment Weekly photo shoot that we did for the Cover Entertainment Weekly for the Walking Dead that year. Like after we got done shooting, I was so hungry that day that I just rushed over to the lunch area, and I sat down and had my tray, my food, and everything already, and I was like battling with my fork for like 5 minutes, and I was trying to figure out why the food wasn't going in my mouth. And then I realized I still had the prosthetics on my mouth, so I had to go all the way back to the makeup trailer so they could put my jaw back on so I could eat. I just thought that was like so funny because everybody was just laughing at me, like, did he really not realize he still had that on his face?
Besides makeup, what was the hardest thing you had to do in Walking Dead?
I say the hardest thing was wearing the contact lenses because I was actually completely blind. and I didn't get a chance. I couldn't see anything about where I was walking to or anything. So like when Michonne was actually tugging us, showing us where to walk, she was literally showing us where to walk. And the thing that I was so afraid of the whole time was falling on my face. And I was just like, okay, keep it together, don't walk too fast. Just remember where you walked at so you don't trip over anything. And it was just like, that was probably the hardest thing I ever did. And here he is, Mr. Fashion Bureau.
Hey guys. Oh yeah. Yeah, we couldn't see stuff.
When you were filming, I guess it was summertime.
It was summer and winter. Yeah.
When you were in the prosthetics, was it more difficult summertime sweating or shivering?
Shivering, definitely. The cold with no shirt, and that was when Georgia was going through this. I don't know if you guys heard about the whole freeze that Georgia had, and we couldn't drive nowhere, and people were like, it had like hundreds of people stuck on that highway. You remember that? Yeah. Yeah, that's what we were shooting.
So it really did like an apocalypse was happening.
It was cold.
It's just been like such a life changer, honestly, because like I would never expect it to be like one on the cover of Entertainment Weekly or two have an action figure made out of me, you know, and it's just been like such a, it just opened it it opened up the whole new world for me, honestly.
Yeah, it was definitely a new world opener. A new world open, definitely. I had no idea about cons and about the whole. I actually like anime and I like special effects and those type of films. I love Harry Potter, but I never knew that there was a world where you could just go and dress up and be around your peers that actually like that with you. So it opened me up to this convention circuit, and I was like, yo, this is kind of cool. It's dope. So it's definitely cool, and then it's awesome meeting so many different people. Like, so many different people. It's so cool.
What are your plans in the future? Like, where do you see yourself going from here?
Well, for me, I am focusing on directing right now. So for me, it will I have I do audition sometimes, but for me, acting isn't like my career goal. My career goal is to be like the next Spielberg. So that's for me.
And just with me, just more different acting roles and everything. Like my main goal right now is like to get into more like action-based movies and feature films with that portion. Like I just want to be if I could become a superhero, like a Marvel superhero, that would be my next main goal. That would be the game over for me. Yeah.
Do you guys do indie films?
I do. I actually just shot an indie film in San Francisco in February of this year. It's called Dog Murder Spree that I recently did. It should be out in about a month or two. And I also shot another indie film 3 weeks ago in Georgia. So that'll be coming down in about a month or so.
And do you mind like doing cover shots for like books and stuff like that?
I've done that as well too. Yeah.
I've got a second book coming out in my cover series. It looks just like you.
Really? Look at that.
Awesome. I'm on board. Yeah. Awesome.
Did you guys have to go through zombie school like the other zombie students?
I didn't, but he did. So.
Could you tell us about that?
It was basically like going to school or going to detention to learn how to walk drunk. And it was like literally like as soon as we all like got in and Greg Nicotero walked in and introduced himself and everything, and like when we were walking for him and everything, he was like, okay guys, I'm gonna give you the best 5-second demonstration and the best description I can give you. Act like you just got from the club, you're drunk, and you're trying to find your car. And act like you don't know, you can't hear anything, you don't know where you are, but you know your car's somewhere. And literally everybody walked pretty much the same way. He was like, I love it, it was hilarious, honestly.
What do you guys do in the takes? Because you're wearing all of that makeup and stuff.
You just waiting.
And
You've been pampered a little bit too. Like somebody's bringing you a straw so you can sip through the little hole they give you in the makeup with water. You need some water? Are you good? When it was cold, they'd bring a blanket. Are you good? Are you good? No, I'm not good. It's freezing. Okay, you only need 5 more shots. It's okay. Thank you. So we just waiting for the next shot, pretty much.
But they had us like pretty much like dumped off in a tent or out there or a trailer. So like, you know, we were pretty much, you know, taken care of, but at the same time it's like it's irritating because you do want to just snatch the stuff off your face, but you literally have to just sit on your hands just so you're not touching, you know. But it's pretty cool.
I mean, I didn't mind that makeup on. I just minded the cold. And honestly, the makeup was making me a little bit warmer.
So, we know that you probably were sworn deceased during that time.
Yes.
How bad were the friends and family and buddies, little tidbits?
Well, okay, so when I was doing it, I didn't know, so I had never watched The Walking Dead, and I didn't know the popularity of The Walking Dead. So when I was doing it, it wasn't that big of a deal to me. So I didn't really like have to tell anybody about it. Only when I started seeing that people started following me and started like taking my photos from social media and like writing articles, I was like, okay, maybe there's something. Because they found out like about me as a walker before it even appeared, you know. So it was crazy.
Pretty much the same thing, like I knew nothing about the show or anything about it. And it wasn't like until after I did it that people were like, okay, do you know what you just did? Do you know who you are now? You know, and it's just like, no, I don't know anything about this, you know. And I actually had to go back and watch all the other seasons to actually, you know, get an appreciation for it. And now I'm hooked on it. So now I understand. And now I love it.
Did you have to go back and read the comic books to kind of understand some of the backstory? Or?
I did, and I'm actually reading the comic books now. And reading the comic books versus looking at the store, looking at the TV show, it's like the comic books are so much more graphic than TV show. And it's like, I see now why they have to be so careful with this show. Because it's like, it crosses that borderline sometimes. But it's like, definitely, I definitely love the comic books too.
Do you know if they're gonna do any shots of you guys from the past, you know, where you get to be your actual character yourself as opposed to just the zombies?
Oh, we know it. We never know anything until like maybe a week before, 2 weeks. Hey, we need you. Okay. I didn't have a family reunion planned at all.
Like, can you get available? Are you available? Or can you get available?
You're definitely going to be available. You're not going to be like, no,
I'm not going to say no.
I'm not showing up. No, I'm showing up.
I mean, I'm asking, I'm like, I'm booking my flight now, back to Georgia.
How did you guys come about the roles here about The Walking Dead?
Actually, for me, it was my friend. My friend sent me a casting, and I was like, okay, I'll try it. You know, and it just happened to be that, you know, it was cool. That simple as that. I applied for it, and they called me back 45 minutes later. They said, yo, we need you for this. I was like, when they explained it to me, I was like, what? You tell me I don't have an arm and a mouth? I don't have arms and a mouth? And I'm gonna be a zombie? I mean, but hey, let's do it. But I mean, it's kind of weird. I couldn't even fathom how they were gonna do it. So I was like, okay, I mean, cool. It wasn't like, oh my God, I'm gonna be in The Walking Dead, because I didn't know about it. Now, having done it and watched it, now I'm like, oh my God, I was in The Walking Dead. But you know, before that, I was just like, okay.
Yeah, it was pretty much the same for me too, because like I just submitted my photos to them, their casting department randomly one day, and they just called me back like a week later, like around 4 a.m. one morning. Like I pretty much forgot all about it, and I'm just answering my phone like, hello, you know, who is this? You know, and they're like, hey man, you know, sorry about the hour, but this just opened up. Do you want it? And I was like, you know, somebody said say yes. I was like, okay, cool, you know, fine. And like I hung up, and that next morning I woke back up, and I thought it was a dream. So like I checked my email, and I got confirmation from them saying where to be at one time, and I was like, okay, apparently it wasn't a dream. So yeah, and I just went down there, and they walked me through everything, and they were like, you know, are you still interested? And I was like, you know, definitely, like let's do it. And it was like the single-handedly the best decision I made in my life so far. So yeah.
I think you had a question back there. You had a question?
Oh, it kind of went along with that. It was kind of the same as that question. That's
Okay.
my answer.
Cool.
When you first decided to become actors, what was kind of the chain of events that led you to that piece of casting? Like, what was your the first time you actually had an acting gig?
Well, I went to arts high school, so I have been acting way long before, and I know I probably look young, but I'm a lot older than probably what I look. led me to it.
Like me, it was honestly like I like when I was growing up, it was something that I always wanted to do, but I never really thought it was possible. And it really wasn't until like after I lost weight that I even saw like as a possibility of me doing it. You know, because I started like getting random people coming up to me saying, "Hey, you look really nice. Like you should try modeling and stuff like that." I never really took it serious until like one day I came out of college. I'm out of my classroom in college one day, and a lady pulled me to the side and she was like, "Hey, do you want to be in a movie?" And I was like, "You know, what kind of movie? Like, what are you talking about?" Because I didn't know what she meant at first. You know, I'm thinking like I'm in somebody's basement or something. But it actually was the movie Joyful Noise, Latifah and Dolly Parton. And I was like, she was like, "Well, they're filming it. They need some people with nice faces or whatever to be in this club scene." And I was out of class that day, and I was like, "Why not?" You know, and I actually went down to the club they were shooting it at, and I met the casting people, and they were like, "Hey, yeah, we like your face, or we want you in that scene." And it was after I did that, that's when I started getting more offers and everything, and just been doing it ever since.
If you guys know each other before The Walking Dead, and if not, have y'all become close friends since?
Not at all, and yes, because we have to spend so much time together.
We don't have a choice. It's gonna happen. So whatever.
I was wondering, do they treat the walkers better than they actually treat the extra actors?
Oh no, oh no. We were lucky that we were the walkers we were. You know, we got the trailers, we got the good food, we got everything, but those other walkers,
They go through it.
yeah, they're sitting in the tents, they're like, just like, we were the walking superstars, so it was, I was definitely like, I'm glad I'm me.
I was like, y'all had to do what? Sorry.
It was almost like they didn't even get, you know, the food, you know, the food is different for the stars versus the other walkers because they're considered extras, so they didn't really get even the filet mignon and all that kind of stuff. So we were sitting there with like Andrew Lincoln and all the people just sitting there eating what they eat, and our trailer is in the same vicinity of them. We're sitting there waiting on our take right with them, and all the other walkers. I don't know where they were when they weren't with us. No shade to the walkers, but you know.
No, guys, you know, but
Yeah.
it's a business, you know.
It was-
it's how it goes.
Yeah, they didn't treat them as well as everybody else.
I just have a question. You said you were going to direct.
Yes.
How does one just say, oh, that's an actor, okay, I'm gonna direct? Is it really, I mean, something you learned while you were in your art school?
Yes.
Okay. That's
So when I was in art school, I took acting. I played violin for 10 years, and then I did film class. So it could be something that you say, I'm going to direct tomorrow, but it's like, what do you start? What do I start? So I have the tools to be able to say, I'm going to direct tomorrow because I've been trained on what are the necessary steps. And the basic saying is, with money, you can do anything. At the end of the day, you get some money, you're great.
Dude, you play violin?
Yeah, I played violin for 10 years, yeah. I was a concert chair.
How did they make you armless?
Green screen.
Green and blue screen slaves, yeah.
Yes.
So your arms out or?
No, we had to keep them like this. Like this. So, I mean, the green screen, they only had a little bit to cut off. So, you know, it made it a little bit easier for them. It wasn't like, spend all your money.
I was curious, what do you guys think about the new Fear the Walking Dead stars?
I have no thoughts on it. I don't know anything about it, but I mean, I'm gonna watch it. Hopefully it's really good.
I am, yeah. I actually got some breakdowns from my agent, so I'm hoping I actually get a chance to get casted for it. Because after shooting it out there in California, and I love California, so I would love to go out there and film with them.
Yeah, you can come out for the audition.
I'm special, okay? I don't have to audition for you, all right? You know what I can do, all right? I'm awesome, all right? I'm not having this conversation with you here. That's what these good people, all right?
That's the first time that we've been asked that.
I know.
It's hilarious. No, we were doing some reviews on YouTube too, so you can go check that out. So I'm pretty sure. But,
I have a question for you guys. said you got to hang out with like Andrew Lincoln and,
Yeah.
all the other cast. Are you all still in contact?
Oh,
with each
no.
other? Are you all still like friends
No.
and hang out? Or?
It was like, I mean, when I say hang out, I use the word loosely. We were eating in the same room and we had a couple of sentences, talk, back and forth, but I was not gonna ask, yo, what's your number? Let me hit you up later, That's
What's your address?
I mean, it's kind of weird,
What about with Michonne?
Even with her though, like when we were interacting with her, we were working, and then when we stopped, we would talk and stuff. But still, it just was. I never thought to ask. Even when we see them all the time at like conventions too. So it's like we work together thing, not like a personal relationship or anything like that.
It's more or less a hi, how you doing? Keep it up, you're awesome.
I know you. You know me. Hey.
I've seen your face before. Awesome. They're really awesome people, though.
Do either of you guys write?
Like, yeah, I write. Yeah, I write. Yeah.
What was your favorite character from The Walking Dead?
My favorite character has to be, well, it used to be Michonne. But then she got kind of weak this season. So I was like, I don't know if I like her anymore. Yeah, she's kind of weak. Like, she wasn't like killing and all. You know how Michonne was doing. Michonne came out strong. She was slicing and dicing. I was like, yo, ain't nobody messing with this girl. She went through all them years or however long the zombie apocalypse happened by herself. With a sword and 2 zombies. Ain't nobody touching that girl. I guess right now I will say Rick, because just like how crazy he is and all the character development he's going through right now, for me right now. And if Michonne gets back to what she was, which it seemed like at the end of last season she's going to, then I'd be like, okay, I like Michonne again. But this season I was just like, she's up here like, yeah, I think about motherhood. I was like, no, this is not the Michonne I like. You're weak, you're gonna get eaten.
I still love her, okay? I can't help it, all right? I understand like she's going through a lot, and you have to you go through different things in order to develop your character, and you have to sort of different transitions and everything. I think deep down she's still that strong woman, and I think she's really starting to reconnect with that, like especially with the ending when she grabbed her sword back and took it off the mantle. So I think we're going to see more of that toughness shown. So I still love it. That's still.
But the favorite. Which one?
My favorite.
Right now, Rick.
Michonne, yeah, I still like her. I like Daryl. Daryl's awesome too, though. It's between Daryl and Michonne. Like Daryl, he's that.
See, Michonne was like, Daryl was crying this season too, and I was just like, it's like, yeah, we have no room for crying when the zombie apocalypse. We have no room for that.
Bro, they're human. They're human.
We have no room. Oh, Carol. I love Carol. I love me some Carol. I am sorry. I love Carol. I love
that
the
cookie scene.
Yeah, the cookies.
Like, oh my God, she's with Freddy Krueger now. Like,
Yeah, she was awesome.
She was awesome. Yeah, I love her.
And I was gonna say, what do you think about Crazy Carol?
No, I love Carol. And also Sasha was almost gonna be that chick, but then she was like cuckoo. And I was just like, okay, so you're just crazy. You're not like bad. You're not like I do this for a living. You're just like going cuckoo and crazy. So I was like, maybe not Sasha.
Is there anything that really shocked you about the show, like as you're watching it?
The biggest thing that shocked me when I was watching was the almost, we have kids, but with Carl and that guy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was like, I was like, are they really doing this? Is this really happening right now? Like, seriously, that was the biggest shock for me. You can eat a person and all that kind of stuff, but I was like, this is gonna be on TV? But yeah, that was a shock.
That scene too, and also I have to say the scene with Bob when he was getting eaten, and how he basically Garth was just basically staring at him in his eyes while he was eating his leg. I was like, what the world? And it was so gross because like I felt like it was real. Like even though I know how everything is done now, to me in my head at that moment, that was the only real thing, and it was gross. Like it really made my stomach turn. Yeah.
Did you guys ever have to eat any of the?
No, we didn't have a mouth.
Yeah. That's the benefits of having this happening.
Yeah. But it was barbecue, I heard. Yeah, barbecue meat.
It's like when you see them actually and hear them chewing, they're really chewing.
Yeah, chewing like barbecue meat. Like,
What do y'all think about when they kill off dad?
I never liked that, so I was okay with it. Me personally. She was real weak and she was always in the way, and then she would try to be like strong and fail miserably. So I was like, and then when her and Daryl had that weird thing going on, I was like, I don't know how old she is. So it kind of got a little weird for a second, so I was like, just get her out. You felt something, I think.
Yeah, I kind of felt that it was coming though, because like actually I kind of liked Beth a little bit, but at the same time it was like I kind of felt that it was coming, just how how the transition with the show goes, and it was kind of like a surprise to me. Like I had a feeling she was going, but I did not know she was going to go like that, and how like Don just basically leaned in and just shot off like whoa, I had to jump back, and see it, and it was really kind of shocking.
I mean, she was even stab weak. She was like, I mean, like, that did not kill a zombie.
If you're gonna kill somebody, go for it. Don't just give her a paper cut.
I could not with that. I was just like, she would be, if that was reality, she would have died a long time ago. A long time ago. And if she didn't have all them strong people surrounding her, protecting her, she would have died.
But who's your prediction? Who do you think will be next?
Would die next?
Yeah. Your prediction. Who's winning?
I definitely think Sasha's going. Like, if she continues on the track she's going, she's definitely gonna get eaten.
They always have like the person who ends up being the center, the hope.
Yeah.
And we're like everybody who brings hope to the group. So it kind
Ends
of
up
makes me a
dying.
little nervous for Michonne's character because she's starting to be that voice of reason and
Mhm.
that voice of hope. And I mean, they have killed everybody who's ended up being that. So
I just don't feel like they would kill Michonne. Maybe they would, but I don't think they would kill her. I don't personally think they would kill her because then it would just be like, I don't know. I think they would kill Sasha before they kill Michonne. If anybody.
Like even in the comic books, Michonne, she's still alive. So it's like I think also with that, as well as the fact of how strong her character is, I think they're gonna keep her around for a little bit.
I can imagine Glenn dying
Yeah.
too. But the only thing is he gives them a diversity, so I don't know if they're gonna do that. The only person I say that's open range is like Sasha. There's two black females,
Yeah.
so one's catering to the demographic. So obviously one of them gotta go. And then they even put them against each other. They put them against each other now. They like yelling at each other now. So I'm like, somebody's going. And somebody's either gonna I bet it's gonna be like a showdown too.
Yeah.
I think Michonne's gonna kill Sasha. That's my prediction.
did you guys get ever kind of rash or a little acting or the baby on the show? Get a meter or anything?
Oh, the little baby?
Yeah.
Oh no, never. We met her at a convention, but not while we were shooting. And she's a sweetheart. Yeah. It feels like she knows who she is too.
I know, yeah.
This season, we know what got the first time, everybody hates Chris, so I found out everybody hates Chris.
I saw that and I laughed so hard that night that they posted that. Like it was so funny because like I was thinking the same thing. Like everybody really does hate this guy. It's like he went out so gruesome, and it was like I never would have thought they would even thought of anything like that to kill somebody in the turnaround door, and the way they just dug into him and just it was gruesome. I think that was like definitely my top 5 deaths of all of them.
How'd you guys feel about his death though?
I thought it was sad.
Was it sad?
Yeah.
See, I wasn't sad about it. I wasn't sad because for me, it was like, he was like a non-factor the whole season. And all of a sudden, just like being a main character, like, oh yeah, I wanna be an architect and I wanna fix the wall. I was like, you dead. The minute that first scene came on, I was like, he's dead. He's dying. This episode, he's dying. We don't need no architect. We can't have an architect in the apocalypse. Somebody who keeps order. We don't need that, The day of. Yeah. I was like, yeah, you know you're dying today. I was like, oh, okay. Thanks. But just because we died that day, they still bring us back for like flashbacks and all those things, but still, it wasn't like, you know, hey guys, coming on set every day anymore.
You gonna go on your white party?
No. We got a sword to our face.
And a helicopter. At least it went out with a bang, you know.
Yeah.
That's all I got for it.
No, that scene was dope though. Like, if you could imagine like a helicopter on fire to your right, zombie to your left, the governor's henchmen in dope jeeps right there. Everything was like happening around us. It was like, oh, this is cool, you know. And I mean, I don't necessarily agree with us making noises. I was like, even on set, I was like, so you want me to react to something? And I was like, I haven't been reacting this whole season. I don't get it. I haven't been reacting, but honestly, I think it was probably just like the cost of the special effects that ended up being in that decision.
Like, this is costing too much. We gotta get rid of it. Get this, you know. I need some budget cuts. We're cutting that.
Because I think our makeup was $10,000, so $10,000 an episode, you know, that's expensive.
What do you think was the saddest moment in The Walking Dead?
Herschel's, well, of course when we left, yeah. But I say Herschel's death still gets me. Like I haven't gotten over it yet. So I think definitely Herschel's death and just the way the governor did it. Like at first he leaned into it, he made it seem like he was gonna let him go. Then when he was like, liar, and he just sliced half of his neck off, and just how like he did it right in front of his daughters and everybody, and you see how everybody just broke apart right then. It was a heart-wrenching for me.
For me, it was when Andrea died. Like, Herschel,
He was weak.
yeah, he was weak. He didn't have a leg. He didn't have a leg. I mean, come on, guys. It was eventually gonna happen. If like the zombies started attacking the building and everybody had to escape, who's gonna get eaten first? Herschel. So I kind of already predicted Herschel died. I didn't know he was gonna die like that, but I knew he was gonna die eventually. But yeah, when Andrea died, because I thought she was just so strong, and then like I hated her manipulation, like how she was manipulated by men, and it ultimately like just sent her downhill. And she just made the wrong decision. She just made a simple wrong decision to follow like her heart and be in love with somebody who doesn't really love her or was crazy, and that ended up killing her. And I just felt like that was just such a weak moment for Andrea. You know what I mean? She was such a powerhouse in the beginning. She was a killer. She was the strongest one out of the bunch for a second. And to be killed from emotion, it was just like, dang, that sucks.
I just thought it was really interesting the way Girl's character went from being a simple housewife who had to deal with things like domestic abuse to now living in this post-apocalyptic kind of world and finding that inner strength.
I don't know if I would call it inner strength. I think the inner cuckoo. I think she's crazy. Ultimately, I just think she's crazy. I mean, we can say strength, but when you start burning people alive, I think it's like, it's crazy.
She had to go to some dark place in her mind to do that, and to drag me out.
You know, I had to protect us. No, girl, you didn't have to protect us.
It's like, okay, you had to protect us. Come on, get the jacket. Come on, get the jacket on. Okay, Carol, okay, we're gonna take care of you, you know.
Otherwise, she might kill you. You know, you can. It's like looking at you.
It's allergies.
But you know, it was a cool development though. I think her and Rick are the most developed characters to me. Like her transition into being a potential badass is really cool. But I do feel like, I don't know, I just think she's a little crazy, and I think that's gonna turn back on her. I don't know when it's gonna backfire on her, but it's gonna backfire soon.
Well, as an actor, are there certain things that you guys do to prepare for character arcs?
Oh yeah, you have to.
Characters develop?
Every actor is different, you know what I mean? You have some people who can get on set and be like, yeah, just give me the line right now and do it. And then there are some people who have to go like actually take the drugs in order to feel how it feels, you know, to be able to do it. So it just depends on the actor. Me personally, I like to feel the emotion for real, so I will be the one who took the drugs. You gotta get in the role, huh?
I'll remember stuff from life, you know. I don't want to go to set high or anything.
But it's like, you know, like even Leonardo DiCaprio, he gets in, he goes and he visits like schizophrenic patients. He lives with them for years. He understands the role. He becomes the role. Yeah, it's two different methods of acting. So yeah.
So when you guys film on location, how do the citizens of the area react to you guys like closing down streets?
They are nowhere near.
Or are they all in and with the celebrity thing?
Honestly, I think they love it because that town, Sonoya, basically wasn't getting, I mean, come on, Sonoya, it's like in the middle of nowhere in Georgia. You know, nobody was going to their stores anyway, but now they have a thriving business from just people visiting because it was a set. So I'm pretty sure they're really happy and they would be really sad if Walking Dead left.
So it's a tourist attraction?
Yeah. So many businesses have been started just from The Walking Dead in Georgia.
All right, we got time for one more question. Who hasn't asked a question yet? Everybody said, I don't know.
That's the best question.
Favorite TV show other than the one you're on?
Mine is Empire.
What?
Empire. Yeah, I love Empire. It's my, oh no. I like Scandal better. Scandal's better. Empire is good, but Scandal is way better. Just the acting is so good. Those guys are talented. They'll do a monologue and take you like 30 minutes deep and you're still like, keep talking. You know, other shows, some of the actors can't like really live up to that standard, and some of the writing isn't up to that standard, where you can just do a monologue for 5 minutes and keep me engaged. I don't see that on a lot of TV shows, so that's why I really love Scandal.
I'd have to say right now, and it's been for a while, Supernatural. Like what Say was saying, like with the monologues, like so many of the monologues I do for my auditions now come from that show. It's just like the level of writing and just how in-depth it is, and the fact that it's going on for 11 seasons. And it's just like, even after 11 seasons, if I still go back and watch the old ones from like on Netflix or something, that tells me right there, I love this show and it was really well done. So definitely just like the level of acting as well as the level of writing that's on that show is just so in-depth that I can't turn it down. Like I love it. That and Arrow, I love Arrow too. I recently got to Arrow.
Let's give them a warm welcome. Thank you.
Anyway, you are awesome.
Do you teach Gen Ed, Mr. Brown?
Do I teach what?
Gen Ed, general education.
I teach history.
You know what I mean, though.
On level?
Yeah.
Yes, teach on level and history.
Well, I think you need your own
I'll,
history.
I'll be teaching both world and universities.
Well, if you're a smart aleck in his class, you might be like the average person. Maybe if you don't learn from history, you'll be doomed to repeat it.
I'm trying to cut you off, but we appreciate your efforts.
Yeah, but your computer's here safe now anyway.
All artists feel, all teachers are great. I've worked, I don't think I worked, I didn't realize it was around, but I met Mr. Dog. A friend who owns a boat. He's on to, East Oak.
Okay, Vernon, get out of the way. I want a picture of the audience.
Yeah, I'll put that too.
Cheers!
Anyway, I was out on a boat with her. Yeah, that's good. Good job. I was out on a boat with her, Savannah, and she, like, she found
like, yes, you do. Call it fish.
People love seeing you on social media.
How good.
They do.
Apparently, I'm not so all of these pictures came out crappy, but thank you.
But
Not jokes.
unfortunately, Chris sometimes gets mistaken for one of the members of the cast of Duck Dynasty.
Oh my.
Oh.
It's true.
I wish I could say I was joking, but
I wish I could have their money.
Yes, but you're not full of horsemen like they are.
Yeah, I know. I'm not redneck enough.
Neither are they.
Oh. It's actually, that's it really was. I bought mystery boxes. Oh, they sell mystery boxes? That's my boyfriend. I believe James Howland is married.
I got it. So happy.
Aliens, oh, that's not my name. I love all the aliens jewelry and stuff. I hated the little
Who said a nuke was annoying?
I feel like now we have to switch them on.
Well, wait, how old are you?
15.
In the state of Oklahoma, it's impossible for us to have a special bond of any kind without getting in trouble with the law.
I might be
You've
doing
been at this a long time over.
I'm not gonna say I'm an old geek, but when I got figures in my collection that is older than some of the people attending this panel, I mean,
Please, I've got boots older than some of the people coming to this panel.
Don't you now have faith in the next generation?
Oh, totally.
Okay.
Well, you're dressed as classic
Like I
shadow
said.
cats that renews my faith in your generation.
see,
Oh my God.
older than some of the people attending this.
I had some of that one.
Yep.
This looks promising. Got Elle Fanning in it. Francis Ford Coppola. That is it for the Oh, it's it's the one that has a big spinning wheel and you get the chance to pay $10, you spin the wheel, you get an autograph.
The autograph, right about,
Three
right
of
as
the
you got
14
it.
of them. I haven't seen that. Yeah, 3 of the 14 of them are empty actors, so. I'll get it. But I just said, it's $2.
Hey, you got your eye on one.
2 Wolverines and a
No, I'm sorry.
This might be more bad comics.
Did you say Burn Comics?
Welcome to a top of the fourth wall, bad comics.
all the power to the landscape. Of course it worked.
Yeah, that was, going to do something like that myself. Okay, better.
Oh, so much screwdriver.
Actually, let me try something.
Thank God it's not.
I don't like shoving that in my eyes either. But that's too high. Okay.
Want to talk economics?
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Actually, Chris, what? The dollar handbook. The dollar handbook should work, yes. The dollar handbook is too effective. Too effective. Oh, it's just...
Elevate, elevate.
Almost. Okay.
So none of us are tech geeks or. We're just engineers.
Okay, close enough for government work. That's, yeah, our Congress at work. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Nerds of all ages.
Hello, Stonehenge. Wow, we have officially sold out because we have one person standing up. That is awesome. I'm sorry for you, sir. I don't know why they put so few chairs in here, but hey, that works for me. Well, oh, there is a chair.
If somebody wants to.
There is one chair. Don't worry, Christina does not bite hard.
You know, there's.
Unless you ask nicely.
I think that the paper should have been
I don't know, I promised them.
What are you supposed to be here for?
So the artist,
What kind of room is it supposed to be in?
Hey, Mr. Burnham.
Yep.
Time to get-
Oh, we should be done before 7. I mean, there's another panel supposed to be in here at 7. So I'm thinking 6:50 or so.
We have to leave at 6:45.
Okay. Are they for that? All right. So, I guess
Look, those are awesome.
we're all here for the same thing, which is the Pokemon panel, right? That show worked very nicely over in The Walking Dead, so I figured I'd recycle it here. Savannah, where are you going?
She's.
Oh, okay.
It's the Pokemon.
Ask permission to leave my class, Savannah.